Welcome back. The man behind some of Hollywood's biggest hits, charged with sexually assaulting two women. On Friday, Harvey Weinstein was released on $1 million bail. He was ordered to surrender his passport following his arraignment at Manhattan's criminal court. Weinstein's attorney, Benjamin Brafman, said his client entered a plea of not guilty.
We intend to move very quickly to dismiss these charges. We believe that they are constitutionally flawed. We believe that they are not factually supported by the evidence, and we believe that at the end of the process, Mr. Weinstein will be exonerated.
Meanwhile, the New York Post is reporting that the disgraced movie mogul was actually looking for filmmakers to produce a documentary telling his side of the story. A rep for Weinstein reportedly denies those claims. Joining us right now is former Philadelphia sex crimes prosecutor Julia Morrow. Julia, thanks for joining us this morning. Give us your take on this.
Thanks for having me. Well, I mean, I don't know why his attorney is talking about having charges dismissed quickly in a pretrial motion or some sort. That's not going to happen here. The only possible pretrial motion that could help him out is the statute of limitations. But because that turns on the actual facts of the allegations, that won't be decided in a pretrial motion. It'll be decided at trial. So I think the defense needs to be here, and it sounds like they're kind of leading up to this as well. If they get to trial, look, I'm a pushy, aggressive guy. This is how I run my business. This is how I run my sex life. But I never got sex from anyone with forcible compulsion, and you can't prove it. These women who I was with knew what they were doing. They might be disgusted by these encounters, but they could have left. Ashley Judd walked out on him. Anne Heck was able to walk out on him. And this could be a legitimate way to overcome this avalanche of complaints against him.
Yeah, I mean, his attorney is outlining this possible defense strategy for his behavior while speaking to reporters on Friday. Listen to what Brafman said.
Mr. Weinstein did not invent the casting couch in Hollywood, and to the extent that there is bad behavior in that industry, that is not what this is about.
In the industry. Would this casting couch defense work in the court of law, Julia?
Unfortunately, I mean, it may work in the sense that even though these women, you know, came to his office, came to his hotel room, invited him into their apartments, you know, we know that no means no. The law says no means no. But to the extent that his lawyer can spin a tale of, you know, this one, you know, wanted to be cast in this movie, this one wanted this one wanted that, a jury's going to be listening to this, and, you know, they will have as their option to draw that fine line at disgusted with the encounter and buyer's remorse versus, no, I didn't want to do this.
Incredible.
And, you know, despite the Me Too movement, they actually have, you know, that opinion and belief of many people in society on their side in this case.
What do you think, Dagan?
Julia, what about the possibility that prosecutors could call many other victims and have them testify? Will that be decided at an evidentiary hearing? What about the possibility of that? Because, again, that could put a much greater burden on the defense.
That's right, and that's an excellent question. That's, you know, one of the issues here. One of the things that Brafman wants to do is keep as many of those prior bad acts out of the trial. It will be decided in a pretrial motion, and because, you know, if Harvey's defense is, you know, that these women were not saying no, you know, they were a little bit resistant. I'm not the most attractive guy. They might not have really wanted to be with me, but ultimately they consented. If he's saying that, then the prosecutor's going to come back with, well, we need to introduce these prior bad acts to show his intent and an absence of mistake on his part, believing that these women allegedly consented. So it'll be decided in a pretrial motion, and it's whether it's more prejudicial than probative that will keep it out. So you know, that's going to be a problem for him. The more of them that come in, you know, the less chance he's going to have. Like, look what happened with Bill Cosby.
Right.
You know, the first trial, only one came in, one prior bad act. The second trial, several came in, and he was convicted at the second trial.
Right. Great points you make. Julia, thanks very much for weighing in on this. We'll obviously
Thanks
be watching Julia Morrow joining us there.